that you are well, and I also hope that you had an amazing day so far. All right, so today we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on compound words. So we'll be doing our grade 2 English lesson on compound words, right? And before we start with our lesson on compound words, we are going to log in to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged into aplusstudents.ca with your username as well as your password, and then we're going to select the subject of language arts, which is English, grade 2. So we've selected the subject of language arts, grade 2. Now we are by our different chapters, right? And we're going to scroll down our chapters up until we get to compound words. Compound words, right? So the chapter for today is compound words, and the lessons that we are going to be focusing on under the chapter of compound words is to form compound words and to form and use compound words, right? So we're going to start with form compound words. Form compound words and from two smaller words. Smaller words that you get like it and you have an example to know and we work together. It's one goes man. No, man is snowman, right? So after one word is snowman, right? Add these words together. A bigger word, which is, for example, snowman. So snow plus man is snowman. And this is a compound word. So a compound word is made from two smaller words, and then we make a bigger word, right? So you add these two smaller words and it makes a big word. And right? So snow plus man equals to snowman, or it is snowman, because we added those two words, we joined those two words, and now we get our bigger word, which is snowman. They're two words that we basically put together. So that is a compound word that is made up of two smaller words. So a compound word, two smaller words that make a meaning, right? We have like me. We have more. Also, but one the words meaning hanging top of the say of your little book and the balance of the book. So for both, we have that um, right? But now if we all together, right, and we make one big word, which we call our compound word, right, then it becomes a sailboat, right? So which means it's a boat with a sail. Then we have table plus spoon. So these two words, which is table, it's a table that you either sit at, you do your work, can be wooden, a wooden table, for example, whatever type of table that you are sitting at, either having breakfast, lunch, eating at, doing schoolwork, or so on. So that is a table, right? That is the one small word. Then we have spoon is our other small word, right? And a spoon is an it's an object or something that we use to eat with, right? So as you can see, these are two words with different meanings. But now, if we put these two words together, right, which is table plus spoon, we put it together, these two small words we put together to make one big word, which we call the compound word, then it means that the meaning of these words changes, which now becomes a tablespoon, right? And a tablespoon is basically like a bigger spoon, if we can call it like that, a bigger spoon. And tablespoon is totally different from an actual table, right? Then we have tooth, brush, and then we get our compound word, right? So the small word is tooth, right? It is our tooth in our mouth, um, refers to one tooth in our mouth that, yeah, that is there to help us chew food, right? So tooth. Then we have a brush, right? The brush you use to brush your hair. Um, so it's like a hairbrush, or just we used to brush our hair, right? So we have tooth is the one small word, plus brush is our other small word. So if we put these two words together, right? So tooth plus brush. Now that we have a different meaning because now it becomes toothbrush. Our compound word now is toothbrush. It is a little small brush that we use to brush our teeth, right? So that is but a few examples of compound words. It is two smaller words that we put together, right, to make one bigger word. And that one bigger word, right, changes, the meaning changes, or it has a different meaning. And we call that a compound word. It is the two words that is put together to make one bigger word. And that bigger word we called a compound word. All right. So we're now going to type the compound word, right? We're going to type the bigger word that we are going to make from these two smaller words, the compound word. So up plus stairs. So up plus stairs, right? We need to put these two words together to make a compound word, right? It's like making a bigger word. So up plus stairs. So up plus stairs is upstairs, right? Sorry. And these two words that we put together, it becomes one word, right? One bigger word, which we call the compound word. So up plus stairs is upstairs, right? So the word upstairs, that becomes our compound word. So this bigger word, it becomes a compound word, or we call it a compound word. Under plus water. Under plus water. So our one small word is under. second small word is water. We need to put these two words together to make a bigger word, which we call the compound word. So under plus water is underwater. One word, right? And underwater is our compound word, right? It is that two words that you put together to make one word, right? And also the meaning now changes of that word. So underwater. Head plus band. So we have head plus band, right? So your head, right? It's this our big round, whatever shape your head is, that is joined to our neck, joined to our body, right? That is our head. And then we have a band, right? So the band can either be a musical group or it can be a piece of elastic cloth that we can put on our heads, right? And then, but basically, band being a musical group, right? So we have head, which is this round figured object, not even object thingy on now, that is stuck to our neck, stuck to our body. We call that the head. And then the band is a musical group, right? But now, if we put these two words together, we put the words together, which is head plus band. If we put head plus band together, then the compound word is head band. And a headband is a more like an elastic um material that we put on our heads, basically to either, sometimes it has a cute little bow, or it is just to keep our hair nice and in place, right? So a headband. So basically the big word, the meaning changes of that two words again. All right, so wash plus cloth. So wash plus cloth, right? So wash is either when you are washing your body, washing clothes, right? And then cloth is a piece of material that you use either to wipe tables, wipe something, to clean, right? But now we have wash cloth, right? So if we put those two words together, then we have wash cloth. The compound word is wash cloth, right? And washcloth means it is a cloth that we use for washing. So the compound word is washcloth. These two small words put together to make one bigger word, which we call the compound word, right? Snow plus man, right? So snow, it is more like ice, little, can we call it particles, or ice that is basically formed in the clouds, and now instead of the liquid rain coming down, it comes in the form of pieces of ice, basically. So snow plus man, a man. If you're not a woman, you're a man, right? A person. But now if we put that together, we put that words together, then it is a snow man. It's like an ice man. Snow man, right? Snowman. So a compound word is snowman. And then we have star plus fish, right? So star plus fish. So a star is like a star in the sky, right? That we see at night, um, also shining with the moon, right? So star plus fish, fish in the sea. Um, so if we put these two small words together, right, and then we have starfish, right? So starfish. So we have a starfish, right? And the meaning even changes of that two words. So our compound word is starfish. All right, so basically we have compound words, and a compound word is made up of two smaller words, right? It is a word plus another word, and then we get a bigger word, which we call our compound word. We need to put these two smaller words together in order to get the bigger word. And usually, with forming the bigger word, the meaning of the word changes, right? All right, so now we're going to do a test on form compound words. All right, so we need to type the compound word, right? So drive plus way. Drive plus way. Is it driveway, which is the first option when we put these two words together? Or is it drive, right? So we need to select the compound word, right? We say that if we put the two words together and we form the bigger word, then the bigger word is our compound word. So drive plus way. So drive plus way, is it driveway or drive? And if we were to type the compound word, and then we will choose the compound word of driveway, right? It's these two smaller words put together and then to form one big word, which is driveway. All right. Then we have note plus book. Note plus book. We need to add these two words or put these two words together, right? So note plus book. Is it notes or note plus book is notebook? We need to choose the compound word. Because remember, if we put these two words together, we add these words, then we need to get our bigger word. And the bigger word is called our compound word. Because our compound words is made up of two smaller words. In this case, it is note plus book. So note plus book, it equals to notebook. Then we have dog plus house. Dog plus house, right? So here we have our two smaller words, right? And we need to put these two words together or add these two words together in order to get our bigger word, which we call our compound word. So dog plus house. Is it dogs or is it dog house? We need to find our compound word by putting these two words together. And if we put these two words together in order to find our bigger word or compound word, and then we will say it is dog house. All right. Then we have news plus paper. News plus paper, right? Is it newspaper or news? So two smaller words, which is news plus paper. That's the two smaller words. We need to either add these two words or put these two words together in order to get a bigger word, which we call our compound word. So news plus paper, and we call that newspaper. So our compound word is newspaper. Then we have upstairs. Upstairs, right? So we have our two words, which is up plus stairs. That is our two words. And we need to form one bigger word, which is called our compound word. Is it upstairs or is it ups? So upstairs or ups. So two smaller words, which is up plus stairs, and we need to form the compound word, which is our bigger word. So if we put these two words together, we call it upstairs. So upstairs is our compound word. All right, so that is for compound words. And we said compound word is two smaller words that you put together to make one bigger word. And the bigger word that we made by the two smaller words, we call that the compound word or compound words. Now we're going to form and use compound words, right? We're going to form and use compound words. All right. Once again, a compound word, it is made up from two smaller words, right? And these two smaller words we put together to make a bigger word, right? And that bigger word we call our compound word, right? We call this bigger word the compound word. And if you don't know the meaning of a compound word, right, then you can look at the two smaller words, right, and they can help you understand the meaning. Because remember, we said that the two smaller words, the one word means something, the other word means something. If you put those two words together, your, let's say your compound word or your bigger word will in meaning, right? So the meaning changes, at least the meaning to the of the right. Like for example, a snowman, right? A man made of snow, right? Because snow plus man, right? We said snow is basically, let's say, ice that is basically raining from the sky, right? And then we have a man, right? Opposite of woman, it's a person, right? And if we put these two words together, then we have a snowman, which means that it is basically a man made of snow, right? It's like an ice man. Ice coming from the sky, ice man, right? So, which means that if you do not know the meaning of a compound word, which is the bigger word, you can look at the two smaller words, right? And then they will basically help you to understand the meaning of the word. You can then create your own meaning of what the big word is based on the two smaller words or the meanings of the two smaller words. All right, so now we're going to complete the compound word, right? A pot is a pot that holds tea. So a pot is a pot that holds tea. So we need to say what is a pot that holds tea. So a pot that holds tea we call a teapot, right? So a tea Pot is a pot that holds tea, right? A teapot. So that is the compound word that we formed by the clues that is given, right? A whole sentence that is made. A pot that holds tea, and we call that a teapot, right? So we basically combined these two words, right? Which is tea plus pot to make a word or a compound word teapot. So we don't say a pot tea, right? Because now you also need to know if you put these two words together, for example, a pot that holds tea, right? If we put these two words together, the word also needs to make sense, right? So, do we get pot tea? No, right? Which means that we get a tea pot. It's a pot that holds tea, a teapot, not a pot tea, right? A whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing. So a whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing, right? So basically, it is a whiteboard that is used for writing, right? So a whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing on, right? So a whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing on. So which means that we combined white and board to make the compound word of whiteboard, right? And a whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing on. A paper that gives you the news is a. So we need to find a paper that gives you the news. So a paper that gives us the news is called a newspaper. So a compound word is newspaper, right? So you can't say you're going to put these two words together as is and say paper news. Do we get paper news? Right? So these are the questions that we need to ask ourselves. So do we get a newspaper? Right? So paper news doesn't necessarily mean it is the news that we found on paper. No, right? It is a newspaper, not paper news. I'm going to scratch this out to show not paper news, but a newspaper, right? So we combined news plus paper, right? And we get newspaper. And it's a paper that gives us news. All right, let's do a few more examples, a few more sentences. You use a pick to pick at food stuck in your tooth. So we use a pick to pick at food stuck in our tooth. So if we combined these two words, pick and tooth or tooth and pick, then we will have toothpick, right? And toothpick we use to pick the food that is stuck in our tooth, right? And that is a toothpick. It is the two words that we combine, which is tooth plus pick, in order for us to get the compound word, which is toothpick. A coat that you wear in the rain is called a coat that we wear in the rain. We call that a raincoat. right? It's a coat that we wear in the rain. And the two words or the two smaller words that we combined or put together in order to get the compound word raincoat was rain plus coat. And rain plus coat is raincoat, right? So rain plus coat is raincoat. It is a coat that you wear in the rain, which we call a raincoat. A boat with a sail is a boat with a sail. We call that a sailboat, right? So a compound word is sailboat. And the two smaller words that we had to combine or put together in order to get the compound word is sail plus boat. So sail plus boat, right? And that is sailboat. It is a boat with a sail, and we call it a sailboat. We had to combine these two words, which is sail plus boat, in order to make the compound word, which is called a sailboat. All right, so now we're going on to our test, right? And the test is to form and use compound words. The days of the week from Monday to Friday are week what? Is it weekdays or weekday? We need to choose the correct word that we basically, let's say the smaller word, or the word that we need to add to week in order to get the proper compound word or get the correct compound word. So the days of the week from Monday to Fridays are weekdays or weekdays. So we call it weekdays because they're saying days of the week. So weekdays, right? A so is it a whiteboard is a whiteboard for writing on, or a blackboard is a whiteboard for writing on? So we need to choose between either whiteboard or blackboard. Is a whiteboard for writing on. All right, so we will say a whiteboard because a whiteboard is a whiteboard, right? For writing on. So a whiteboard. A shoe what is a lace that you use to tie your shoes. So a lace to tie your shoes, right? Which means that is it a shoelace or a shoelaces? We need to choose between lace or laces. All right, so basically a shoelace is a lace that you use to tie your shoes. A lace. Shoelace. Not a shoelaces, because a refers to one, right? So if we have the word a, then it's as if it is making reference to one thing, person, place, animal, idea. A paper gives you the new a paper that gives you the news is it a newspaper or newspaper? So a paper that gives you the news is a newspaper, which is news, or newspaper, the full word, full compound word. All right, so the paper that gives you news is we will say news only. You're only going to choose news because the word paper is already given in the sentence. So we don't have to basically give the big word, right? So only news and paper. The yard in the back of a house is it a backyard or is it back's yard? So the yard in the back of a house is a backyard or back's yard. All right, so it is a backyard, right? So not back's yard. So it is a backyard. All right, so basically, this is how we formed and we use compound words. And we said a compound word is two smaller words that we either put together, right, or we combine these two words in order to give us one bigger word, which we call our compound word, right? All right, so now we're going to our whiteboard, right? Here about a few examples once again of compound words, right? For example, foot, we have an actual foot plus a ball that you can play with. It can be any ball. It can be a netball ball, soccer ball, beach ball, tennis ball, baseball ball, just a ball, right? It's like a bouncy object that you can play with. But now if we put these two words together, foot plus ball, then it means that we have our actual ball, which is called a football. It is now specific as to what ball it is, a football. We have a cup plus a cake, a cup plus a cake, and a cup plus cake makes or creates the compound word of cupcake. Then we have jelly plus fish. It's jellyfish. Then pan, an actual pan plus a cake, right? Cake that we eat either on our birthdays or celebrations, right? But now a pan plus a cake, it is a pancake, right? Pancakes that we make in a pan, and it comes almost like a flat type of bready food. Then we have tooth plus brush, which is a toothbrush. Rain, rain that comes from the sky, right? Plus a bow, right? A bow, either something that ladies have on their heads, or a bow can be almost like a little bow tie, but a bow, right? And that equals to a rainbow, right? Rainbow has got beautiful colors, different colors, and the rainbow usually comes, or we see it after a storm or after it has rained. A honey or honey plus comb. Honey plus comb, right? So honey that we get from bees and a comb to comb our hair. If we put those two words together, then we get a honeycomb, right? Honeycomb is where the bees basically, let's say, make their honeys. And then people will come and they will take the whole honeycomb and brush off or take off the honey from that honeycomb or that is stuck from that honeycomb. Then we have a basket plus a ball. And now to be specific, our compound word is a basketball, right? So these are compound words. right? So now we are going to form the compound word by looking at the pictures that is given to us. So we're going to create a new word, a bigger word, by joining the two smaller words together, right? All right, so we have foot plus ball. So foot plus ball is football, right? So football, it's a ball that you use for kicking with your foot. Then we have cheese, sorry, cheese plus a burger. So cheese plus burger. And we call that a yummy cheese burger. Then we have a doll plus a house. And then we have a doll house. Then we have a basket plus a ball. And we call that a basketball. Then we have jelly, right? Jelly that you can eat. It is more like a wiggly little food dessert item that you mix together, put in the fridge in order to get stiff, right? But it's still wiggly. That is jelly plus a fish, right? If we put that two words together, then we have a jellyfish. Jellyfish. And then we have rain, right? It's raining because we have a cloud, and the rain is coming from the clouds, plus a bow, a beautiful bow, and we call that a rainbow, right? So these are compound words, right? And we basically created these compound words by the two pictures that we put together to make the one word. So that is compound words. All right, so now we are going to fill in the blanks to make a compound word, right? So the first smaller word is already given. For example, base. And then they also give us let's say, whatever the compound word is going to be. So base plus what gives us a small white ball, right? So it's going to be base plus ball. And we have baseball, right? So the two small words are base and ball. And if we put that two words together, we get the compound word, which is baseball. Then we have air plus plane, like an aeroplane, right? And then we have an airplane, right? Then we have an airplane, form of transport in the air. Grandmother. So we can either say grandmother or grandma. But grandmother equals to a grandmother, compound word, grandmother. And then we have back plus yard, right? So plus yard. These are the two smaller words. And if we create the bigger word, which is a compound word, and then we have our backyard, right? Then we have a boy over there, so which means is it good boy? But that is like two words, right? So we have good boy, but that is two words. Oh, goodbye. Oh, sorry. That is goodbye because I see he's waving, right? He's waving. which means that he's saying goodbye. So good plus bye, which is B-Y-E. And if we put that two words together to make a compound word, then it is goodbye. And the last one, right? Out plus side. Out plus side, that's the two smaller words. And we need to create a bigger word, which is called the compound word, and that is outside. All right, so that is our compound words that we created, right? Either by filling in the blanks to make a compound word or by joining two words, basically the pictures, in order to get our, let's say, a compound word. So we also formed compound words as well as form and use compound words. Compound words are two smaller words, right? And then if we put the two smaller words together, or we join the two smaller words together, and then we get our bigger word, which we call our compound word. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson grade 2s on compound words. Thank you very much for joining our class. You should have an amazing evening further. Goodbye.